from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing you your top stories for tonight. I am Lakshita Idrisena.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines. Financial aid from the President's Fund for liver transplant and cochlear implant surgeries for young children. The President inquires into the well-being of former Minister Gamini Jayavikrama. The National People's Power says that their party has changed along with the world politics. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says the JVP with well-frog mentality should go to developed countries. South Asia's first floating hotel is to be declared open on the 1st of next month. Hungarian president resigns from the post. We move on to those and other stories in detail now. First, taking a look at local stories. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has directed financial assistance from the President's Fund for liver transplant surgeries for young children at the Ragama Teaching Hospital and cochlear implant surgeries at the Sri Jayawardhanapura General Hospital. This decision aims to alleviate the financial burden on impoverished parents and support the welfare of children, recognizing their importance for the nation's future. Acknowledging the substantial costs associated with pre- and post-tests and treatments for liver transplant surgeries in children under 16 years old at the North Columbus General Hospital, President Wickremesinghe has approved 1 million rupees from the President's Fund for each liver transplant surgery meeting common conditions. Medical tests have revealed that over 200 children in Sri Lanka require cochlear implant surgery, a procedure crucial for the auditory development. While in developed countries, such surgeries are promptly performed at birth upon identification of the need, in Sri Lanka, not all eligible children undergo this procedure. It's emphasized by medical experts that such operations should ideally occur within 2 years from birth for optimal brain development, yet the cost is a significant barrier, estimated at over 5 million rupees. Currently, this surgery is limited to a few government hospitals, leading to waiting lists for affected children. The cochlear implant surgery is conducted at the Sri Jayawardhanapura General Hospital, with the implant device valued at approximately 3 to 4 million rupees. Although the Ministry of Health provides the device to the hospital free of charge, patients are required to cover the surgery costs, which amount to 600,000 rupees. This financial burden underscores the need for additional support mechanisms to ensure access to essential healthcare services for children in need of cochlear implant surgery. To address this issue, the Ministry of Health has sourced the necessary cochlear implant devices, while the surgery costs amounting to 600,000 rupees will be covered by the President's Fund. Consequently, the government will fully shoulder the expenses associated with these surgeries, which are conducted at the Sri Jayawardhanapura General Hospital.
Meanwhile, President Ranil Wickremesinghe has visited the ailing former Minister Gamini Jayavikrama Pereira at his Katugampala residence this morning. The President was engaged in a friendly meeting with the former parliamentarian, inquiring about his well-being. Thereafter, the President was seen having an amicable chat with the people who flocked in front of his house. Former Minister Akila Viraj Karyavasam, former Northwestern Provincial Council and son of Jayavikrama Pereira, Asanka Jayavikrama, and several politicians in the Kurunegala district, as well as acting IGP Deshabandhu Tennakon, were also present on the occasion. Meanwhile, Jayavikrama Pereira's son Asanka Jayavikrama Pereira has rejoined the UNP. He was functioning as the organizer of the Samagi Jana Balavega in the Katugampala electorate. At a media briefing today, he said that he will extend support to the program of the President by being a member of the UNP again. Asanka Jayavikrama Perera said that there had been a crisis period in the country, but the president was able to overcome the situation. A country where people being able to live indecently has been created. He added that the SJB also was engaged in a dialogue in this connection. They even talked with the UNP. They were questioning as to why the SJB and the UNP to go together. He also said that the president has arrived in their residence to pay his gratitude. Asanka Jayavikrama further said he has decided to go with the UNP from today itself.
The National People's Power says the party has been subjected to a change inclined with world politics. NPP parliamentarian Vijitha Herath has made these remarks at a media briefing held today to enlighten on the NPP delegation's tour in India. NPP parliamentarian Vijitha Herath said that it was in December of last year that the government of India has extended an official invitation for a 10-day tour. However, due to the existing political situation, India has agreed to restrict the tour for 5 days. He added that during the visit, they have made a clarification on the foreign policy of the party. The NPP parliamentarian further said that they had to upgrade the policies to suit to the regional and worldwide changes. India has clearly pointed out that it has changed its chance in world politics. Vijitha Herath also said the invitation was extended upon the National People's Power and that the Janata Vimukti Peramuna is a political party belonging to the NPP. There are other parties and civil organizations connected to it. Sri Lanka's political movement has been changed according to the changes in the international arena. The member further said that clearly the principles of their party is based upon socialist ideologies, but conforms to the politics and economy of the world. The MP has recalled that they were involved in the process of government of the good governance in the initial stages and was able to halt some of the frauds and irregularities. However, their mediation process was terminated, but stressed that they would take the necessary steps to recommence their procedures.
In the meantime, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says members of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna who have the mentality of a toad inside of a well should go to developing countries such as India. He has made these remarks attending a meeting in Paduk. The minister has expressed opinion after meritorious ceremony at the Sri Punyaloka Mahavihara in Vataraka, Paduk recently. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that JVP members with lesser knowledge are able to go to India and other countries to study on poverty alleviation and development. The minister added that they could also go to countries such as Japan, South Korea and China to gain knowledge. The minister also said this would enable party members to become more knowledgeable about the world economy.
In a significant stride towards fostering truth and reconciliation in Sri Lanka, the Interim Secretariat for the Truth and Reconciliation Mechanism recently organized a forum to address key issues related to its mandate. The forum brought together distinguished personalities such as Parliamentarian and Professor of Law Honorable Professor G.L. Piris and Emeritus Professor of Law Savitri Gunasekara. The forum held in Colombo on the 9th of February brought together a diverse range of stakeholders including government officials, civil society representatives, media personnel and experts in the field of law and transitional justice. The primary objective of the forum was to discuss various aspects of the draft bill for a Commission for Truth, Unity and Reconciliation, which will play a pivotal role in addressing grievances of persons affected by the conflict in the north and east, promote reconciliation and non-recurrence. Foreign expatriates have made remittances amounting to $487.6 million to Sri Lanka in the month of January of this year alone.
Minister of Foreign Employment and Labour Manusha Nanayakkara says the figure represents an 11% increase corresponding month of last year. At the time of Minister Manusha Nanayakkara taking over duties of the Ministry of Foreign Employment, the total foreign remittances to the country had fallen to $200 million. The overseas Sri Lankan workers were used to the illegal methods of sending money such as undial to the country. However, with the minister assuming duties in the ministry, the government has implemented numerous programs for the Sri Lankan nationals to send money through legal means. Those Sri Lankans have been accorded many concessions including importing tax-free electric motor vehicles, introducing of a pension schemes. The program of sending many trained skilled labourers to many countries has been expanded. As a result, Sri Lanka had received foreign remittances amounting to $5.9 million last year alone. As a result of the government program, since May of 2022, the amount of remittances from expatriate labours has surpassed $9 billion. In the first 8 days in the next month of February this year alone, 60,122 tourists have visited the island. The Tourist Development Authority says in the first few days of this year alone, 268,375 tourists have visited Sri Lanka. The highest number of tourists, 42,768, came from India. There were 39,914 tourists from Russia, 22,278 tourists from Britain and 18,016 tourists from Germany.
South Asia's first floating hotel will be declared open on the 1st of next month.
This is a leading hotel equipped with exceptional features.
The hotel complex named Bolagala Floating Resort has been constructed in Madampala Nigambu, about 15 kilometers away from Colombo. The tourists are able to feel the novel experience of agro-tourism at this location. The constructions had been carried out in an environmentally friendly manner in an extent of 13 acres of land abandoned after cutting clay. Local engineering technology and agriculture and architecture were used in the construction of the hotel complex, although the estimated expenditure was 1,250 million rupees. As a result of corona pandemic and the existing economic situation, the cost has been spiraled to nearly 2,000 million rupees. There are 50 cabanas in the complex and 10 of them are floating on the water. All rooms are being monitored 24 hours of the day under GPS technology. A new lease of life has been given to the environment by constructing an ultra-luxury hotel complex in a land about to be destroyed by conforming to the highest standards in the tourism sector. The tourists are able to enjoy a taste which they have never experienced before at the Bolagala Floating Hotel. The food requirements of the hotel are being met by the crops being cultivated in the vicinity. Even the picking of types of plant food could be carried out according to wishes of the tourists. In addition, the tourists could feel the luxury of a floating swimming pool and a floating restaurant as well. Local foods and beverages are being prepared by versatile local chefs. A bird's paradise is an ideal location for the nature lovers to feel maximum comfort in the enchanting nature of the environment. It is a love nest for local and foreign tourists.
Minister Mahinda Amaraveera says that a sum of 9 billion rupees has been set aside for the provision of bank loans on relief basis for the small and medium scale mill owners to purchase paddy. He has made these remarks at a meeting with farmers in Angunakola Palace. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera said that the government has set the prices of 105 rupees for Nadu paddy and 120 rupees for Samba paddy. The price declared for Kiri Samba is 130 rupees. The minister further said that small and medium scale paddy mill owners will be provided bank loans amounting to 9 billion rupees to purchase paddy. The minister added that the paddy marketing board will be provided with financial facilities to purchase paddy. Farmers in Metigawala in Angunakola Palace has successfully cultivated Kiri Samba paddy in 100 acres of land in the current Maha season. Plans are underway to expand the cultivation to 100 hectares. Meanwhile, the government has decided to declare a minimum price for paddy with the objective of safeguarding both the farmer and the consumer. Traders at present are purchasing paddy from farmers for a paltry sum of 60 rupees. In the meantime, attention has been focused to conserve deer in the Trincomalee town.
Trincomalee is the only town in Southeast Asia where people and deer live together. The animals staying in the vicinity of the Fort Frederick erected by the Dutch. These creatures add beauty to the Trincomalee town and have become a source of attraction for foreign tourists. A census conducted in the Trincomalee town in the year 2023 has confirmed that nearly 750 deer were living in the town. 54 places of lodgings of the animals have been detected. The deer has become main reason for Trincomalee district becoming popular among foreigners. The Hindu devotees consider the deer as a gift of the god to the Koneshwaram Kovil. It has also been reported that these animals are being subjected to numerous accidents at present. One of the biggest threats confronted by the deers is the injuries sustained due to pieces of glass bottles and plastics getting caught in the hooves of these animals. They are also being endangered due to consuming polythene. The precautions to be implemented to protect the deer population include imposing speed restrictions on vehicles travelling on the Dutch Bay coastal belt near the main road and in the road leading to the port, and also devising a method to dispose vegetables in the market and cleaning of the Trincomalee Fort area. The deer population is considered as an amazing resource based upon the nature of Trincomalee.
And with that, we take a look at a few more local news items in brief. A group of senior students in the Sabaragamu University has assaulted second-year students in the agricultural faculty of the university. An injured female student and 2 male students are seeking residential treatments at the Balangoda Base Hospital. The Samanalawewa police station is conducting inquiries into the incident. Minister of Fisheries Douglas Devananda was engaged in an inspection toward the Paliagoda fish trading complex today. The minister, upon focusing attention on the problems, has instructed the officials to provide speedy solutions. A statue of C.W.W. Kannangara, acknowledged as father of free education, was unveiled at the Mahasen National School in Nikavaratia recently. A special feature has been that the statue was created by the teacher in charge of arts in the same school. A reputed librarian and an educationalist on library and information university as well. The funeral will take place at the General Cemetery in Borella tomorrow.
Director of Health Services in Colombo District Consultant Physician Chandana Gajanayaka says that if there are dengue mosquito breeding places in institutions, the respective heads of such institutions should bear responsibility of such a situation. He points out that the relevant premises should be cleaned every Friday of the week.
Dengo වගකීම අපේ අරමුණයි ජාතික රූපවාහිනිය සමග මෝටින් ඩෙන්ගු නැති හැටක්
Director of Health Services in Colombo District Consultant Physician Chandana Gajanayaka said that the presidential circular has clearly instructed heads of institutions on the need to maintain their locations free from mosquitoes. Well, that's it on local stories. We'll be back with news overseas.
Happy Valentine's Day, Prima Kotumi. Stay safe and share the hot and spicy love.
உட்காருங்க சுபாபேஷ், உங்களுக்கு ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் வந்திருக்கு. ரொம்ப தொலைவில் ஒரு சின்ன ஸ்கூலுக்கு.
பரவாயில்ல சார், அதுவும் ஒரு ஸ்கூல் தானே.
உன்னதமான இலக்குகளை மனதில் கொண்டு நீங்கள் எடுக்கும் சரியான முடிவுகள் உங்களையும் நாட்டையும் பெருமையடைய செய்யும். நாங்கள் உங்கள் பெருமையின் அங்கமான மக்கள் வங்கி, தேசத்தின் பெருமை.
Welcome back as we take a look at foreign news. The final results in Pakistan's general election have put independent candidates backed by jailed ex-Prime Minister Imran Khan's PTI party in the lead.
The Election Commission of Pakistan announced the complete results of the country's general election 2024 held on February 8th. According to the election results announced for the National Assembly, PTI-backed independent candidates got 101 seats. The Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif received 75 seats, and the Pakistan People's Party parliamentarians of former Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari gained 54 seats. To govern, a candidate has to show they are at the head of a coalition with a simple majority of 169 seats in the National Assembly. Under Pakistan's rules, independent candidates are not eligible to be allocated reserved seats in the parliament. The election body of the country postponed voting for one seat due to the death of a candidate and withheld the result for one seat. Of the National Assembly's 366 seats, 266 are decided by direct voting and 70 are reserved, with 60 for women and 10 for non-Muslims, and these are allocated according to the strength of each party in the Assembly. Foreign reporting have indicated that the Pakistani police had blocked streets near the Electoral Commission building in the city of Rawalpindi in anticipation of protests, while police in Islamabad said action would be taken against demonstrators. Hungarian President Katalin Novak has resigned.
She left the post for pardoning a man convicted as an accomplice for helping cover up a sex abuse case in a children's home. At least 1,000 people protested in the country's capital recently demanding her resignation. Hungarian opposition parties had also demanded she leave office. President Novak decided to pardon some 24 people in April 2023 in advance of a visit by Pope Francis, among them the deputy director of a children's home who helped the former director of the home hide his crimes. Andrei K. was sentenced in 2022 to 3 years and 4 months in prison and was barred for a further 5 years from all activities and occupations in connection with minors. But due to the Novak's pardon, he was set free and is allowed, in theory, to return to his profession. Novak said she would never pardon a paedophile, including in this case. She said the reason behind her decision was not public and all pardons were divisive by their nature. She was the first female president in Hungary's history and the youngest person to ever hold office.
Asking the military to summon all young men and women to serve for at least 2 years as it struggles to crush opposition to its 2021 coup. The Southeast Asian nation has been in turmoil since the military takeover in 2021, which ended a 10-year experiment with democracy and sparked mass protests and a crackdown on dissent. 3 years on, the junta is struggling to crush widespread armed opposition to its rule and recently suffered a series of stunning losses to an alliance of ethnic minority armed groups. The junta issued the notification of the effectiveness of People's Military Service Law starting from February 10th. All men aged 18 to 35 and women aged 18 to 27 are required to serve up to 2 years under military command, and specialists such as doctors aged up to 45 must serve for 3 years.
Happy Valentine's Day, Prima Kotumi. Stay safe and share the hot and spicy love.
And in sports news, the second one-day match between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan is presently being played at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium. Sri Lankan team, which batted first, scored 308 runs for the loss of 6 wickets at the end of the 50 overs, chasing a victory target of 309 runs. Afghanistan is currently at 153 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in 33 overs.
The Sri Lankan captain Kusal Mendis, after winning the toss, has decided to bat first. The opening partnership between Pathum Nissanka and Avishka Fernando has lasted for 19 runs when Pathum Nissanka was out for 18 runs. Avishka Fernando also scored 5 runs. Thereafter, captain Kusal Mendis and Sadhya Samaravikrama have maintained a 103-run partnership for the third wicket. Kusal Mendis has scored his 28th half-century in one-day cricket by scoring 61 runs. Sadhya has recorded its first half-century by scoring 52 runs. Thereafter, Charit Asalanka and Janit Lenage have added 111 runs for the 5th wicket. Janit Lenage, who was up for 50 runs, has also recorded his 11th half-century. Charit Asalanka remained unbeaten with 97 runs. His innings included 9 boundaries and 2 sixes.
First against Afghanistan. The circle goes over the top. It's played in the That's his half century. And his third against Afghanistan.
Better way, I should say. That's
Gets underneath it. 50 to Janit Lianage. Got underneath it very, very nicely. That's his second half century. Nicely. Ended up on 97 as Hasaranga hold out of the last ball.
Team of the state of Qatar has been successful in winning the trophy of the Asian Cup football tournament by beating the Jordan Stadium in Qatar. In the second minute of the game, Akram Afif of the Qatar team has secured the first goal, making his team leading at the end of the first half with a tally of 1-0. Jordan has also scored its first goal in the second half in the 57th minute thanks to Al Naimat. In a fierce encounter in the second half, the Qatar team has added 2 more goals to its score. Both goals have been secured by Akram Afif. As a result, the Qatar team won the match 3-1.
From the spot, he scored 2 from the spot now. Minutes after make it 3 and wrap things up. Akram Afif with his first international hat-trick, and what a while Qatar become the first team in 20 years to win back-to-back titles as an Akram Afif hat-trick of penalties secures a 3-1 win and makes
Happy Valentine's Day, Prima Kotumi. Stay safe and share the hot and spicy love.
And that's all the stories for tonight. Do join us tomorrow for more of the very latest. Until then, good night.
Good night.